We are late again, and it is his fault again. He just talks for fucking Britain. We were here on time, but Chris always likes to have a little conversation before we go on here, which is always good. But yeah, so apologies if you've been sitting there waiting, but we are here. We are sponsored by the News Guy. The link is below for Randy's service. Check it out if you want your PR, good deliverables, and referring domain count and everything else that goes with PR. Check that out. And we are here to answer your questions, guys. And I know there's a few people here already saying hello, and anyone else out there who is here, let us know where you're from. It's always nice to see people from all over the world watching these things. It's still strange to me, Chris. I don't know how you feel about it, but when you've got like, a dude in Africa or Thailand or Australia or wherever around the world, like I still find that bizarre.
Well, it's like, dang, you're there and you're watching me. Like, gee, that's cool. Yeah,
it's cool. Yeah. Also, it's not a bad thing. It's definitely a positive. But we are here to answer your questions. So put your questions in the chat. We will whiz through them as fast as we possibly can. So don't think there's such thing as a bad question, or if it's something you've asked before and we didn't quite give you a clear answer, or as clear an answer as you would have liked, ask it again, and we'll go over it again in a bit more detail. But we do have Bella Bees, Brahim here. Honey is here. Welcome to the live session.
Yes.
But so Randy has also come in after his introduction. Hey, that is the News Guy, whose link is below, Mr. Randy, the News Guy. And he's also a good guy. Just back from holiday. I've no doubt he's still catching up. So that's the same as me. I was on holiday and still trying to catch up, Randy. But I'm sure you're in the same boat. Glenart is also in LA, CA. One of my favourite places. I need to get back to LA, actually. I was there briefly and didn't have a good rummage around. So I need to get back there and check out LA properly. I was there for like 2 or 3 days, Chris, at a conference. I think one of the days I bombed up and I caught the Hollywood Boulevard, and I tried to catch like 5 different things in the one go. There just wasn't enough time. Tried to go and see the Hollywood sign and all the usual touristy things, and
running around.
And I also drove around the area. It's not quite it's not quite up near Hollywood. I can't remember the name of the place, but where GTA is based on the Grand Theft Auto. And
San Andreas or whatever.
No, it wasn't
Liberty City. No.
Fuck. Glenart will be able to tell me the name of the area, I'm sure, where that
LA.
is. It's in LA, or close to LA. But it was bizarre. But yeah, I got to see some things, but I'd love to go back and check it out properly. Because I literally drove up the famous streets in LA and stuff. I can't remember even the name of the streets, but yeah.
I was there. I don't remember much, but I had a good time.
I need to get back. That is for sure, Glenart. And we can have a beer, Glenart, if you're there, if you're up for that. But Rank 1 PK has a question, which is what we want. Can job and location pages or local top 10 pages be supporting pages? Be supporting pages in a silo for that location-based service page, or should these pages be standalone?
Job plus location pages or local top 10 pages. Primary service is a top level page. Now, depending on what Google's rewarding, it's either going to have a hard silo or not. So no matter what, I'm going to have a service page. And if it's worth me targeting, I'm going to have a service plus location page. It's as easy as that. Now, depending on when I go into Google and I go check, if I search for, roofing contractor, and then I search for roofing contractor LA, what's Google rewarding? Is it rewarding home pages? Is it rewarding pages that are 5 levels deep? Like, what's being rewarded? If it's just all home pages or top level pages, that's what I build. Top level page. If I'm seeing directory style for all the SERPs or like pages are in depth, then I'll build a hard silo. That's all, my friend. I hope that helps you out. I get that a lot. Is it me, or is it confusing, or is it just how I explain it without drawing?
I don't think it's how you explain it. I think for me, in a lot of instances in SEO, you explain things and sometimes it probably sounds too simple. They're like, nah, it can't be. It can't be that. That's my perception. People say, nah, it can't be that fucking easy, or it's not as straightforward as that. And a lot of the time when I'm explaining things, I'm like, it really is that fucking simple. Do not add your own twist to it and fuck it all up, because that's where a lot of people go wrong. But again, put yourself in someone else's shoes, that's maybe not as experienced. It's confusing. It was confusing for me at the start as well. You're just like, fuck, none of this shit actually makes any sense. Surely he's not telling me the truth, is what I would automatically think of someone. So, yeah, I don't think it's the way you see it. I just think it's people just think, nah, you can't be giving it all away.
That easy.
Yeah.
Services, it's like old school, almost all the old school sites, they're using the homepage and everything falls under. Yeah. How I look at it is every service is the new homepage. I have my service location, supporting content. Like that's like a little mini site, aka a silo. That's it. And then I just internally link that silo. And then where do I build links? To the top of the silo. Why? Because we know power trickles down. And then if I start getting hits on pages, like stuff starting to get real movement, I might send links directly to the page. Or if it's a really hard city, I'll send it directly to the page. But usually I'll hit that top level page. That's me.
I always mention it in a presentation that I do at events. And, I use the example podcasts being the core topic right in the middle. And then obviously you've got comedy podcasts, drama podcasts, business podcasts, whatever it may be. And those are supporting articles that internally link into the core topic, which is podcasts. And again, I just think you showing that visual, sometimes people go, and I'm like, that's what a topical cluster is, you fucking maniacs out there. That is what you're supposed to internally link and join the dots together for, so that Google understands that whole cluster that you've got there. And sometimes a visual makes it appear a little bit easier. So I always chuck that in now and again. But also, Glenart, Santa Monica, I googled it while Chris was giving the last answer. Santa Monica is the place I visited where a lot of GTA is based upon, and it's like for like. So playing GTA 5 and then going to Santa Monica, I knew the back streets and everything of Santa Monica. It was scary. But that was the other place I checked. Santa Monica and the pier and all that stuff. Absolutely stunning. But back to rank 1 PK, can a country level service page serve as the primary service page with city pages as child pages in a country without states, or is the primary service page necessary?
I think it's whatever Google is rewarding. Could I run it where it's country first, country, city, Providence? Could you? Yes. But what's Google rewarding for your service? Like, what's being rewarded? That's what I would follow. Because if you're in a different country, I don't want to say, hey, it's this and it's that, right? So go take a look, see what Google's rewarding as far as structure and or silo, see what the winners have. If that's how they're doing it, then execute that way. That's what I would do.
I think it's the good honest answer is replicate, because what happens in your country, Chris, for example, could be very different to mine. Different offering, different structure and stuff like that. So look at the country you're in and see what's being rewarded is the best answer you can give, really. So hopefully that helps you. But the next question from Sir Klopp: how should links be built for a national website with local landing pages? I have a few high quality links for my homepage at good prices. Should I use the same vendor for building links to my landing pages? Now, he goes on, there's a second part to this. He already has many internal links. However, he has around 300 location landing pages. So not passing enough juice. I am competing against some homepages for the other sites. So good question. Long-winded, but there is that.
Really, he's asking, hey, should I build more links? Definitely. But then there's cost to benefit ratio. So what I would do is look at your top level pages and build there, and then give enough time to see any movement or see any progression. Also, too, start tweaking those pages, clean those pages up, maybe better optimize them. See if I can get movements on page by jacking up A tags, internal linking, optimizing the pages, build some links to the top level page, right? That you're internally linked heavily on. Give it enough time and then see what happens. After that, then I would go into the pages that are actually producing impressions or clicks or calls, like which pages are actually producing dollars. That's where I would start trying to push it up. Like, where am I at number 7 or where am I at number 9? Like at the bottom of page 1, I'm about to break. That's where I'd start allocating budget first, not just everywhere blindly.
No, I think you're right. You can't do it blindly. But also I would add to that for Sir Klopp. Let's say you're in the UK. I don't know where you're from, but let's say you're in the UK. London as a location page is likely to need links because you're probably going to be position 7 or 8, so you're going to have to nudge that up a little bit and give it some link juice. Whereas an area like I don't know, fucking Barnet, which is the north of London, is probably going to rank with good on page and obviously internal link power and everything else. So I think a bit of common sense has to be used as well. Where would you build links to? And I think obviously bigger areas and the places that you're targeting are likely to be the ones that are likely to need links, and they are the ones that are going to be driving in traffic. But again, blindly doing it to every page, 1, it's not affordable. 2, it's not required. Sometimes pages don't work at all. So you could be building links to pages that don't work. So I think trying to get it to position 7, optimizing, the shit out of it as best you can and jack it up as high as you can, and then look at it and try and push those ones higher up. I think Chris's advice is spot on. But I think, just to re-emphasize, it is, not always required for a lot of those areas. Probably 50 of those 300 location pages are probably ones that actually need links. So yeah, it's absolutely pointless sending loads of links to all of those landing pages. So hopefully that answers your question, Sir Klopp, and gives you a bit more clarity. Big Hawks, how do y'all... Chris, I've heard you mention that you're not a fan of ranking rent. Any particular reasons why?
Any particular reasons why? It's just not for me. I think that with rank and rent, like if I have the skill set to rank an entire website, and really all I'm doing is I'm selling them the spot of the phone number, right, essentially, and I'm going to rent it to them, the entire site, all of its opportunity for one number. That number is generally less than what I could get by selling it by the lead. So I guess just past interaction and opportunity. I think the opportunity is better when I can sell leads from multiple pages. However, I talk to guys that are successful at launching, one service, one location based websites and then taking over. It works good. It's just not for me.
Yeah. I mean, I was with a couple of SEO friends the other night and we were debating. One of the chaps does a lot of client work with Slory. In fact, Chris, Slory. Mm-hmm. And it was James Dooley was the other guy in the room. And Slory was like, yeah, I do this for clients and that for clients. And James Dooley was like, why not fucking build out a lead gen model? So it's weird how different people think, because James Dooley doesn't think about trying to do work to get clients. Obviously for Slory, he's using his skills to generate cash flow doing client services, whereas James Dooley wouldn't think like that. He always thinks about lead gen. He's just like, you can get so much more money. Fuck doing clients, for X amount of leads that I can generate for this guy. We all know we can generate leads because we've got we know what we're doing. And it's weird to see two people, and Slotty's like, no, I'm not comfortable with that. I don't fancy the lead gen model. So it's weird how different people think about it very, very differently. And I know both Slotty and James do successful. They're successful with what they do. But again, it's just down to personal preference. And I'm like you, Chris. I've had a few experiences where I've had rank and rent going on, and is it a stupid idea? Did I limit myself to a shitty amount of money when I could have earned so much more in terms of lead gen? The answer is yes. But also, I think the niches that I entered when I was doing rank and rent were probably the shittier niches, and it was your kind of local tradespeople, and these guys don't want. They're just looking for a way not to pay you one way or another. So I think if you are going to do, whether it be rank and rent or lead gen, try and do it in a professional market. Whether that be to a lawyer or a dental person or whatever. High ticket items, I think you're going to get a lot more money that way rather than having your fingers burnt, where maybe me and Chris are not into that type of model because we've probably done it in the wrong niches, so to speak. So I just thought I'd throw that in there as well, Big Hawks, because I am not a fan of rank and rent either. I think you can make a lot more money doing lead gen, but also rank and rent, I just didn't like it because of previous experience.
That's right.
So yeah, it wasn't the best, but I'd done it a long time ago. It wasn't as popular as it is now, but yeah, it was tough at the time. But Glenart has a question. Outbound backlink question. We're looking for an efficient way to reach 300 URLs we've ID'd to get reciprocal backlinks. We have a DA91 website. Half the 300 URLs already mention us on their page. So if they already mention you, surely just a small outreach campaign saying, can you potentially link to me? Could that work? Now, I'll give you an example here on this, Chris. I have done a lot of content on my own blog, and I mentioned different tools, and I mentioned different affiliate programs and various other bits and bobs. And every other day I get a message from someone saying, hi, Craig, you mentioned, whatever the affiliate program may be, but you didn't give us a link. Can you give me a link? And I just don't do it. Obviously, I'm not going to link out and train my own website. I don't want to link out. I don't mind mentioning it, but I don't particularly want to link out. Why would I? So a lot of these emails, certainly from me, gets ignored. But what would you do in that instance, Chris? What's your suggestions?
Well, in his particular situation, he has an asset that is delicious, right? Yeah. I don't think he's going to have any issues. But for the vast majority of normal webmasters, that's another story. I think it would be relatively difficult. They're already mentioning them. They're pretty recognized. I think I know which brand it is. They're already on the page. They have a DA, 90 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's a slam dunk. Now, why, I would try to get away with not passing equity back, Hey, we noticed that you mentioned us on your website. How about you hook us up with a link?
Would you do that? Would you be brazen enough to just say, fucking...
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, of course. For sure.
I would probably laugh at that in me if someone cut to the chase, because I always get love your blog, and if forever reading your content and seeing that you mentioned this, can you put that in? You're like, you've done too much ass licking at the start. My energy's gone now.
I had to read this. I just lost 8 seconds. Like, that's it. You're out of here. But with that, I wouldn't lead with dollars, right? Or even lead with, hey, I'll give you a link. I would keep that in my pocket and see if I could catch the yes first.
So I think Glenart asked this same question, in the last
week or two,
or similar. My big thing here is, why would you give away a link in a DA91 for potentially one of these guys who've got a DA fucking 40. You know, that's not like for like value. And you know, is reciprocal backlinks the best way to do it? Can you not buy another asset where people link to your main asset and you link back from another asset that's maybe more in line with the quality that these guys are offering you? You know, I think you know, you need to try and not do the reciprocal thing too much. You want as many people linking to you as humanly possible. And I get that you might only have one website, and you might say, Craig, I've got no other asset to offer. But that's where potentially I would be looking to build out another asset that's done for that very purpose. I've just thrown that in there as well. But is that kind of what you would be thinking, Chris, as well? Like, in terms of, you're sitting there with that big DA 91 and everyone else has got DA 40 and 50. That's not a like for like fucking exchange, man. That's
it doesn't. I don't understand why he got so hot on the reciprocal and like hunting these people down, like to execute it on the plan of, oh, they mentioned like, let's go get these. You know, obviously they did some work. Like, I don't see, there's not too many sites out there that are DR92, you know? Mm-hmm. So, man, I guess you could always give them a link from a internal page, you know, something really deep with no internal link flow, you know, link for link, but it's up to you, Glenart. It's up to you.
Big Hawk says, thanks, gents. Wartini IPP. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe you need a PP. I'm not sure. But if you do have a question, please do put it in the chat, guys, and we will come back to your questions. I'm going after Glenart again. How do we reach these URLs right to the webmaster? Who do we reach out to? We've set up a new Gmail account for us. So you've got a list of URLs, Chris. And you need to reach out to these people. What are you doing to get the emails of these people?
I forget the exact. There's a tool for it. But you're scraping the registrar for that particular email there. I forget what that's called. What's that called? The something entry. You've
got loads, but you've also got like contact out and stuff like that, where you can find stuff, you know, from the URL, and it will give you a bunch of people that work there. And I think they're scraping it from LinkedIn and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different stuff that's out there where you can get the emails of people who are at that company. Obviously, it might not necessarily be the webmaster that you're getting to. It might be the fucking office manager or whoever, even the owner. But again, I think it's a numbers game. You've just got to try and grab those emails using, there's various different tools out there. Contact out. You know, if I wanted to find Chris Palmer, his email address, and I didn't know him, how would I get it? Contact out would be the one that I would use, because he's obviously signed up for LinkedIn and various other platforms. So we'll just pull it from those and tell me a couple of different emails for Chris. That's the one that I use.
Dude, they even have guys that'll call. Like they'll scrape like Namecheap or the registrars, because I even get calls like, hey, I know you're the owner of this domain. And then they're using like one of my aliases. They're like, Jake, is Jake there? And I'm like, I don't know any Jakes. That's funny.
That is
but
funny.
What's that file called? It's going to drive me crazy. Isn't that the most notable? What, you would rather go hunting down LinkedIn and, you know, contact profiles and all this? Wouldn't you just go right to the registrar?
It's not always shown, though. That's the problem with the registrar. You can hide that shit. So it's not always going to show. I'm not personally hunting down. Contact Out is a Chrome plugin which does the hunting down for you. So you put in the person that you're trying to track or the URL that you're trying to track, and it will give you emails for that person. So that's doing the hunting down for you. It's not like a big long manual process.
I thought it would scrape, like, it's the registrar and the SSL file.
Yeah.
So you have to give up that email. Yeah.
But, you know, how many of you are domain names, Chris, where you can actually scrape the registrar or the SSL? It's not got your fucking name on it. Surely not.
Not my name.
It's all hidden, or it's fake personas or whatever. So, is there a great deal of value doing what your suggestion? I'm sure you will get people, whose emails are there, but I think for the vast majority of people, it's going to be aliases or hidden behind, what the hosting company have, the privacy at whatever the hosting companies put in place, just because you get bombarded with people. Like when I used to register a new domain and didn't lock that stuff down, fucking people designing websites would be on the phone the minute I ordered the domain name, going, yes, seeing that you've registered a new domain name, do you need a website for it? And you're like, fuck. That was a hell of a quick turnaround. So obviously, I think a lot of people do hide all of those kind of details on the domains.
Quick question. Do you know any really good softwares for identity recognition? Kind of like just somebody notable that I think you would know. Recently, he spoke. His name's Dan Kurtz. He has like a tool that does it.
Oh, yeah, I know Dan.
It's like, what is that? Identity recognition?
I'm not sure entirely what you're talking about.
But do you know any other softwares that do that?
No. No.
Okay.
But,
that you wouldn't mind mentioning? You got that face like that poker face all of a sudden. I don't know.
No. It's not one of those, I don't know, ask me later things. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah, just reach out to Dan. I'm sure he'll
hook it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's you've known me for many years now. He's not the most affordable solution.
Yeah, but
I'm a G2 kind of a guy, like tool plus alternative.
Yeah.
We
know exactly what kind of guy you are, Chris. We know the money goes in, it doesn't come back out of Palmer's wallet. It's he likes a deal. So,
it comes out slow. Yes.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, though. Some people would even call it being smart. So
you hear that, honey? No.
But Honey says, talking about Honey, I have an expired domain having a location relevant Wikipedia link, but irrelevant to niche. Should I redirect that expired domain to my already ranking website, or should I redirect it to an internal link?
Well, we're talking about one Wikipedia link. Now, there's different flavors. Is this a dedicated resource to the brand or a person, like a featured Wikipedia? Or are we talking about a reference or an outbound on some obscure page? Because those are relatively, we offer those for like $70, so if we're just concerned about that one link, I wouldn't be overly concerned, especially if it's irrelevant. I wouldn't go through the trouble of 301ing because who knows what other baggage is there. It's just one link. I wouldn't be concerned with it, honestly. Yeah. You could just go get another one.
Yeah, I think I would probably have given the same advice. For one Wikipedia link that's irrelevant to your niche, is it worth doing a redirect? It's not, in my opinion. So I think you need to be careful when you're buying expired domains. It's got to have more than, whether it's Wikipedia or whether it's anything else. I'm looking for a bit more from it than one link. I'm trying to get 10, 15, 20 links as a result.
500? Yeah.
But Chris, my door's going. Can I go to answer my door? But the next question's up from Glenart.
No, he's in Scotland, by the way. No, you cannot. So Glenart, so we're going after DA65 and upsites, which we'd ID'd from SEMrush and Google, all in text searches. Okay, so you're going after high equity websites. Makes sense. You're a high equity website. Sounds on the up and up. Honey, should I redirect it to an internal page of my website? I think we already addressed that. And then a question mark. it's just one link. To be honest with you, if you have something that's hyper relevant and that's not spammy or like a landing page for a product or a service or blatantly spam, you might be able to make an adjustment on Wikipedia and get your website in there as an outbound, on something more relevant. You could probably go build it yourself, to be quite honest, especially if it's a decent website. You probably get it to stick.
Cool. Fred Hunter. What should be the criteria to shortlist websites for backlinks? So a rough filter, Chris, what kind of quality metrics are you looking at if you're going to go out there and get links?
Buying links or buying websites for backlinks. I mean,
for backlinks. So I'm guessing, Fred, and I might be wrong, he's looking to shortlist a whole bunch of websites to get backlinks on. So he wants to buy or acquire links on other websites.
I mean, if you're a big budget guy and you're going straight auction sites, stuff that hasn't dropped, I want traffic for keywords that I'm about to go try to go get, right? So if I want to rank for SEO, it's already getting traffic for SEO. That would be an ideal situation. On top of that, the category of link that's pointing to the site. For instance, if I want to rank for New York SEO, I'm getting traffic for New York SEO already. And let's just say that those links are probably business, industrial, marketing, right? It's a category, the type, the link graph. So I want it to be the right category. The next piece is, well, how many of these referring domains are in the proper category? So referring domain count in the category that I need or link graph that I need. The overall weighting of the anchor text can play a slight part. I'm hoping that it's all naked or just brand, like whatever the website is. I'm cool with that. So referring domains, category of link. If I have a big budget, I'd like to have traffic for what I'm already going for. That'd be awesome. Referring domains, category, anchor text, referring IPs, .com, .net, .org. I need referring IPs that are in the category that I want. That's it. That's what I need.
Simple and easy. If that wasn't quite the answer you were looking for and you meant something else, Fred, then do ask again. But that's what we perceived the question to be. But Nerdy, is there a chat GPT, SEO GPT that you use or recommend, Chris?
I think we all use what's readily available to us. I prefer Google's products. I just prefer it. OpenAI has made it relatively easy to do things just like Google did. So OpenAI products, Google products, that's about it. I know there's a lot of other models, but these are the ones that we tend to utilize. On top of that, there's tons of little add-ons like GPT for sheets, GPT for sheet expressions. There's all types of little custom builds that do specific things that I could stand here all day and go over, but Google or OpenAI, that's it. I don't mess with anything else. Facebook stuff is looking pretty cool, but it not for what I need. Also, too, I tested Gronk. They had an API connection. We were cranking out that content. That stuff doesn't even index. So yeah, it's cool.
That stuff, none of it indexed.
Nothing. Not for me. We tested 2 pages, but still like, okay, 1. Oh, that didn't work. Let's do it again. Nope. Okay, I'll never use that again.
In the bin.
You're out of here.
Fair
Why
enough.
did you find success with it?
No.
Okay.
But no, I was just curious that nothing. I kind of gave up testing all of the stuff that there was different stuff coming out every other fucking day. There's only so much you can fuck around with. But
when Elon comes out with something, like when Bezos came out with his stuff, when Amazon dropped theirs, tried it. Zuckerberg dropped his, we played with it. Elon, have to.
Yeah.
But OpenAI and Google.
Yeah. I would agree. And Fred says, perfect answer on the question that he asked earlier. So
thank you.
Glad we got it right, Fred. And any other questions, please do put them in the chat. Guys, we are just over the halfway stage, so please do give us a like, comment, subscribe, or anything else to let us know that you are there. And obviously continue asking questions, and we will go through them as fast as we can. We've got 2 questions waiting in the pipeline there, but the more the merrier, so that we get a free run at the next 25 minutes. So pile in with your questions, guys. Honey has put in a correction. It's 53 Wikipedia links coming to the expired domain. Should I redirect it to my website? The problem is that the Wikipedia links are location relevant, not niche relevant. So should I do a 301 redirect? So it's location relevant, not niche relevant.
I like, what's the purpose? What's the end game or the end goal? At the end of the day, it's still one referring domain. Are those Wikipedia links pointing to different pages? Like, can I maximize benefit? Or at the end of the day, is it 53 links coming from the same site? Yes, it's Wikipedia, but is it pointing to multiple pages and then I could help multiple pages? What's the goal? What's the purpose? Why are you asking? Like, if I had a website and the only equity that was there was 53 Wikipedia links, would I buy that site? Nah. Like, what's the end game? What's it for? Why? It doesn't meet your criteria exactly, then we don't want it. Yeah. Right? It's only location. It doesn't, there's a saying in like poker, if you think long, you think wrong. Like, you got to think about it. You probably should just ditch it. Yeah. Think long, you think wrong.
Rank 1 PK. Do the supporting pages for location-based service pages have to be who, what, when, where, why, how pages, or can they be anything related to the service and location?
Nothing is hard and fast in SEO. However, what you'll find is for informational content or stuff that's informational or supporting content that actually has volume that's hyper relevant to the service will generally be who, what, when, why, where, or how. Right? Also, on top of that, when you type in your main keyword, the stuff that's most related semantically is generally answering those questions that way. So do you have to? No. But am I going to go out there and write anything that doesn't directly support the service? Like, who needs a hot water heater? When should I buy a hot water heater? How much does a hot water heater cost? Like, am I going to go outside of that norm? No. But do I have to use all of those? No. You don't have to. But that's optimal. And then on top of that, we'll build a best of list. Then we hit it all. We have it all. I can target my competition's brand. I can show up in a commercial-based SERP for an informational keyword, best. And then location didn't get dinged like affiliate, not yet. So answer those questions supporting, right? Who, what, when, why, where, how, but only the ones for your keyword that have volume. Not all of those 7 are going to have volume. If you're looking down the list and it's only how much does it cost and when should I buy? Okay, those are the ones that we do. Yeah. That's it. Very simple. Very, very simple. Like, isn't that very straightforward?
It is for me, but like we say, other people overthink it. Maybe overthinking rank 1 PK might be something that you may do. But yeah, it is relatively straightforward and simple, as Chris is suggesting even. But Nerdy is asking, are you doing another conference?
I'm definitely going to do another conference. And I already got the green light from Craig. Are we going to do it this year? Probably not.
I was going to say, like, we're in July. August is never a good time because July and August never good. September I've just been asked to speak in Serbia. I've got the Philippines. You're also in the Philippines, Chris, at the end of September. And then I can't even remember, but I think this year it would be a hard push. But I would like to get one done, for 2025. And I think going along with what we've said before, Chris, smaller venue, more cost effective. And I think we can do well and progress from there. I think, obviously, the last one, Vegas is a great place, but obviously doing it in Caesar's Palace, where we had the full fucking ballroom or whatever the hell it was we had, was a big space to fill. Everyone I spoke to since then, I had Simon White over a few months ago, Chris, and he was like, that genuinely was the best event he went to last year, in terms of like location, the people, the speakers, the foods, the
lineup, yes,
and everything else. So I think, getting the speakers and the lineup, I don't think are an issue for either of us. No. I think, trying to do it, I just don't want to be out of pocket.
Right.
Is the next one. And I think Nerdy, we I don't mind saying it, we took a bit of a hit last year. A lot of people think you do conferences and make a fuck ton of money. We actually had to cough up some money to pay the bill at the last one. So again, didn't get as many ticket sales as we probably hoped, but it was a new conference. It was unheard of and all that kind of stuff. So, it's but I think we can definitely do something of a similar standard, just a smaller, more affordable location for us, so that we're not forking out. I'm not here to make money. I just love being in Vegas, and I love being surrounded by all the folks that were there. So, and Randy has said Digital Unfiltered was one of his favourites last year as well. And I think Randy even on to say to me after it, I'll fucking sponsor next year's or the next event. So, we also struggled to get sponsors and whatnot
because of
so we had a lot of hurdles and probably tried to aim too high in the first one, but I'm sure we'll come back near the Nick. Hopefully we can do it. I don't know, the first quarter of, or maybe even like, I don't know, April or something next year, so that we get enough time to get the speakers organised and promote it and all that kind of stuff, and do something potentially, limit it to 200-300 people or whatever. So I think that's more than achievable, because I think that place we had could have held up to 2,500 or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Could have had a concert in there. Doing it. All the tables, like everybody had plenty of room. That we could say.
And plenty of food, and no one drunk the bar dry. And so that was a problem. Yeah.
Nobody even wanted to drink. It never dawned on me. Oh, this is a business event. Like maybe they'll have one or two, but I wanted everybody to get sloshed.
Yeah. It was also 43 degrees outside. That may have had something to do with it.
It might have. Yes.
People are just like, I'm not fucking drinking it. For me, I don't like drinking in that type of heat. If I'm drinking anything, it'll be water just to hydrate. So,
yeah. Many lessons were learned. Many. And to push hard about 60 days out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Right before my birthday in April. I definitely want to do it again. I've been asked at least 10 times by now.
I would like some tweaks to it as well. I also think some of the mistakes is we had too many speakers, far too many. Yeah. For me, if you're going to do an event over 1 or 2 days, yes, people's concentration can't listen to fucking 20 speakers over a 2-day period, because it's back to back, hard, boom, 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 boom. There's not enough time for networking in between sessions and stuff. So I would rather have less speakers, more networking time. See if you could really get 4 good speakers a day, and then just have 2 on in the morning, 2 on in the afternoon, and leave time for lunch and networking and all that kind of stuff. I think that would be a much better event. Who fucking goes and listens to 10 talks in a row? No one, man. It's fucking
nobody. No.
So I think I personally, if I was given input into it, would be looking to do less speakers. I think we tried to. I think we might have even had.
We were like pushing value.
Yeah.
Like the first one, yeah, for sure.
Too much. Too much. But enough about that.
Yeah.
Rank 1 PK. If currently top ranking state, keyword pages get little to no traffic, do I need to create a state page, or can I just create city pages under the homepage instead of the state page?
When faced with this situation, oftentimes what we'll do is we'll still put that top level page in place. For instance, let's just say that we're doing, I was talking to a guy today, let's say we're doing mulch, right? So it's website.com/mulch, right? And let's just say that it's in New York. So what we'll do is we'll create the page, the URL slug will say mulch. The page will be optimized for mulch in New York. And then in the H4 tags, right? Or however you want to do it, unordered list, what we'll do is we'll do mulch plus locale. And what we'll see is if oftentimes what you can do is if you're authoritative enough and you have a well-optimized page, like those small little cities or small little towns, surrounding areas, by just mentioning it on the page, you can usually rank. So if there's zero volume or nothing, put that top level page in place, just mention those locations. If they take off, great. If you start getting impressions, clicks, and traffic to warrant the build out, then build it out. But yeah, that's what we do in that situation. Hopefully that answers your question. I just went through this. It's like, man, there's no volume, but you know, on the Google Ads side, I'm still seeing impressions.
Yeah.
Let's mention it once, you know?
And he's also saying most of the times these who, what, when, where, how keywords don't have separate pages ranking in the SERPs. It is one page that covers all of these questions.
If that's for your individual case, okay. Okay, fair enough.
If that's what's being rewarded, follow it. You know, your location, your SERP, your industry will have varying different levels of competition. Do you need to create multiple pages, or can you get it all in one? If you can get away with it all in one, and that's, you know, pulling through, you've won a watch. Less work, and less is more. None of us want to do unnecessary work, so
for sure. But usually though, like whatever the keyword is, we'll just say SEMrush. Just put in your primary keyword, plumbing, go to the questions, and look, usually they'll all be listed there, but there's usually only one or two that will have any type of traction.
Yeah.
And then when you build out that page to its entirety, a page ranks for more than one keyword. Yeah, I'm tuning for this, but I also have all types of other information because it's a supporting piece of content. So you should be able to capture a bunch of traffic, hopefully.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yes.
And SEO event in April, just avoid Easter holidays. Yeah, and potentially
there's always something. Yeah,
there's always some fucking thing coming up. But I think end of April, start of May, something like that would be perfect for me, because I'm also speaking at SEO spring training. So if I can nail two in the one go, happy fucking days. I can just come over there for 3 weeks or something, and I'll have a holiday as well. Do an event, our event 1 week, do spring training another week, because it's in the West Coast. Well, if we're doing it in Vegas again, that is, doesn't really matter. I'll fly around.
Like Vegas. I like it. And then oh, I'm sorry. Did I cut you?
No, go for it.
Like you just make me start thinking. I was thinking too, like when I was thinking about the conference, since we brought it up, not just SEO. Like there's different segments. Like, okay, we could do on page or off page or maps or local, right? But then like who's the top dog or perceived as top dog or really good at, like, who does social ads, who does Google ads, who does maps, right? Like different variants, who's hot with the AI, who's doing the good content, right? I think that would be fun too.
Yeah, you've got to mix it up rather than it just being SEO. That's one of the reasons where I wanted the name to be Digital Unfiltered, because I didn't want it just to be, because I think we called it Affiliate Unfiltered at the start.
At first, yeah.
And I'm like, we don't want to be seen as just, you know, going after the affiliate market. We want to be digital. We want paid guys coming. We want other guys coming, you know.
Sure.
So I think making it a digital event rather than SEO is obviously going to be one of the main skill sets that are there. But I do think even as SEOs, the other people will enjoy listening to the guys that are hot in AI or Facebook ads or whatever it may be. So I think for sure you've got to broaden it to not just SEO, because we're all going to be saying the same old shit. It's right. You don't want to be trampling all over each other, and that's pointless. So yeah, we need to think about that. But we do have 10 minutes left, guys, so please do keep your questions coming. We will answer them all if we can. But rank 1 PK, can job pages be supporting pages, or should they be standalone pages?
It wildly depends on the SERP, right? However, generally, if we're creating a job page, this is almost like a review page. So we'll create job pages to facilitate link gathering, right? And also targeting competition's name. So there's that, but I would use it as supporting content. It's still supporting the main concept. So if your main concept is plumbing, personal injury, car, whatever it is, chiropractor, dentist, whatever it is, website.com/main idea /jobs. It's supporting. It's still supporting this idea. That's what I do, unless you only do one thing, Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to say anything more than that without understanding exactly what it is you do, or seeing the website and stuff like that. But yeah. But Dan Jones has a question. Something I really liked at Affiliate Gathering was a mastermind. There was a lot more info shared there than at the actual conference. What's your thoughts on the kind of mastermind side of things, Chris? I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say it before Chris says anything. I fucking hate masterminds. Absolutely fucking hate them.
But not. No.
Not. Well, I like my own mastermind.
Personal stuff is cool. Yeah.
Oh, but when I go to a conference, when you go to a conference, right, and you go and I've got this mastermind in the first day, and there's
structured
20 people in there, and you've all got fucking 35 minutes to talk about your problems and share some nuggets and stuff like that. I think there's nothing fucking worse. I don't want to hear about someone else's fucking problems. Give me the good stuff and fuck off with your problems. It's that's maybe selfish from me, but I find them absolutely fucking soul destroying. Which is why I didn't attend that one, Dan. It's just god awful.
It's usually
for me, Chris, if I go to a conference and I know you're there, and you're the man I want to talk to, I'll just fucking say, I'll message you, Chris, can we meet for a beer at the bar in the hotel? I'll just get you one-on-one and do that. I think doing that's a lot more valuable than the kind of mastermind thing, because I think a lot of people also, just to get my point across, a lot of people are uncomfortable when they're asked to speak in front of an audience. So when you go to a mastermind and then someone says, right, Chris, it's your turn, tell me your problems and give me 3 gold nuggets that you might help this room, you might be going, oh fuck, I don't like talking. You're stuck. You get mind freeze. Are you actually getting the best value out of these people? And I've been to enough masterminds to say I've seen people getting stuck and they don't know what to say, and what they do say is probably not that great. I'd rather sit with Chris at a bar and say, Chris, dude, I know you do this, I know you do that, and fucking give me the information.
Give up the tapes. Yeah.
What I need to do. But that's my opinion on it. But Chris, what's your opinion on that type of? No, I'm not talking about our respective masterminds. I'm talking about masterminds at conferences.
Yeah, generally, like the mastermind is usually rushed. It's really just positioned for the event gatherer as an upsell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perceived value. So they're usually rushed. They're usually in the beginning. It's a short period of time. It's like, all crammed. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I think the real mastermind is, it's not a breakout room, but it really is. Like when everything's done or in between sessions and you go to the bar or the restaurant, those little groups, that's the mastermind. Like us just sitting there, I forget where we were, and Dooley had a few beverages, and I must have heard 2 or 3 nuggets that I thought were hot.
Yeah.
And we were just shooting the breeze, you know? So
that's why I think, you know, if you've got 4 speakers each day, Chris, and you've got more of that time sitting in the lobby, you know, just chatting shit, you know, people do click together and they move around from click to click. And I think that there's a lot of value there, which I quite like. That was I'm pretty sure that was SEO Underground in London, where that happened. I'm almost certain. That's
you
when
made the shifts?
Yeah, people were shifting around from group to group.
Yeah.
And
like
that's probably a lot more value rather than it being forced. You know, guys, we're all doing a fucking mastermind. There's 20 of us here, and and you've got that, like you say, the perfect wording was rushed. I just feel it's too rushed. You've not got enough time to add value and understand the room either. Because again, if I'm putting a room with 20 strangers, I don't know what you don't know in that room. So the information that I may give may be either too high level or too low level, and I might not offer value. So again, that's a problem where you're literally shooting in the dark and hoping that you strike gold. Whereas obviously Dan at Affiliate Gathering, you know, I had a bit of time to talk to you, understand where you were at. Obviously, I'd done a consultancy call with Dan, so I kind of understood what level he was at, so I could talk in a language that would be easier for you personally to understand. But again, you do that in a mastermind where you're thrown in with 20 people, you just don't have that time. So for me, I just don't feel I bring a lot of value to it. Plus, I've not got the fucking attention span to sit there all, you know, for 4 or 5 hours listening to people's problems. You know, I've got enough of my own. So maybe you were lucky at the table you're at, but you never know. You never know. But rank 1 PK, internal linking in sidebars or naturally in content, or just placing links at the end, all the same, right? And it doesn't matter which one we choose. What's your opinion on that?
Sidebar. All right. Well, there's definitely defined areas within a page: head, body, and foot, right? Sidebar is technically body. Depending on your theme, sometimes they're a little bit wacky, but generally speaking, sidebar is body. So if we want to maximize value, then of course we want contextual in the body. Next most valuable, in my opinion, is going to be the head. Least most valuable is the foot. And that's that. So any top level pages or anything that's most important, head and foot, no question. Generally inside the body, I'm going to start pointing to not only the top level pages, but also pages that are semantically related within the silo. I hope that makes sense to you. So the question there was all the same, right? Well, no, it's not. There's different values or grades or however you want to look at it. It's not all the same. There's different values, but the sidebar is the body. So perfectly fine. And then which one do we choose? Top level pages, it doesn't matter what you choose, but your most important stuff is always in the body. And when you go inside of Search Console, go to the left-hand side, scroll down to links. When you click on links in the top right-hand corner, it's going to say links internal or value by internal links. When you look at that sort order, the sort orders better be most important pages down. That's it. This is you validating to Google or conveying to Google, hey, this is the level of importance based on internal link flow. And then your external link flow should repeat this. Like, where's the link flow going? Well, it's pointing to my location pages, my top level pages, the stuff that's important. Now I'm telling Google internally, hey, these are important. And my external votes, other people are saying these pages are important. And then if you want that cherry on top, I also got people searching and clicking and dwelling for those pages as well. Or just go, hey, Google.
He is talking about body internal links, or he or she. I'm not. I made the assumption you were a he, but it could be a she. But yeah, the same answer still applies. We also have someone who wants to promote on here. But yeah, it's always someone in Twitch. This always a Twitch one. You can't even fucking delete them or block them.
It's like, that's kind of like walking down the road. Oh, you guys are, oh, you're having lunch? Let me sit down. That's what it is. Oh, you're with your wife and kids. So mind if I, have a piece of your steak?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Unbelievable. But
I love it.
It's fun. God loves a trier. But we are out of time, guys. We do appreciate all of the questions. Oh, wait a minute. We've got one last one.
Last one. Right.
If you have an e-commerce website and you have the same product with different variations, we need to rank the category page in the keyword because on the product, there is no volume on it.
I guess categories like collection. And then product is, well, product variation. Generally speaking, like if you have multiple SKUs or products, you may at first have everything in. If Google's rewarding something, don't block it or no index it or take it out of the sitemap, But if you're starting fresh, what I would do is I would have my collection or my top level pages or my top product, right? I don't know how your site's set up, but have that collection page follow an index, have your products follow no index and exclude them from the sitemap. That's what I would do. This way I'm pointing all the value to this top level page, but I am not a e-com professional. Okay. So I probably worked on 2 successful campaigns. Like Rugs primarily is the one that always pops into my head. And another one was for diamond paintings. We did very, very well. That's pretty much my, as far as e-com at big scale, and we found real success. Those are the 2.
Yeah. I would also add on there as well, your products can rank, but obviously when you've got variations and stuff, this is where e-com becomes a bit more complex. Do you need to get rid of the variation? Whether it's a shoe size 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all of those URLs have to be gone. You don't need them to rank, but the product specifically could rank for whatever. So it depends on what platform you're using as well. If you're using Shopify, things do become a little bit more difficult. But like Chris is saying, you probably want to focus on those top level pages first and foremost, and then work out from there how you grow and expand, and that's it. So there's always complications when it comes to e-com, but it's always a good fun game to play around with. But it's a fairly technical game as well, just getting rid of problems like you've got there, or potentially got there. So hopefully the information's helped you though, Ishmael. But guys, we are over time, but hopefully we answered all of the questions the best we could. Do please check out Randy the News Guy. The link is below us. Also do check out chrispalmer.org. Chris has a whole heap of value going on his YouTube as well. So whether you want to talk to him, look at his services, chrispalmer.org, but he does offer a lot of value over on his YouTube channel as well, which I'm sure many of you are already aware of, but please make sure you do give him a little love, subscribe, check it out, even send some abuse his way as well. And we will be back at the same time next week, guys. But appreciate all the questions, and we'll catch you again next week.
See you next week. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.